Hello, I'm Peter Medine, professor of English at the University of Arizona, where I've taught since 1969. I did my undergraduate work at Northwestern University, my graduate and postgraduate work at the University of Wisconsin. It's my pleasure to be offering a Humanities Seminars program in the spring of 2012, in James Joyce's Ulysses. This is a challenging work, and in the seminar we shall read the novel together over the 10 weeks. This will entail roughly 80 pages of reading each week. By challenging, I don't mean simply that it's difficult and elusive, though it is difficult and elusive. The novel engages us as perhaps no other novel in literary history does. Joyce's great biographer, Richard Ellman, whom I read Joyce with as an undergraduate, in his biography of Joyce in 1958, wrote in his preface that 40 years after the publication of Ulysses in 1922, we were trying to learn to become Joyce's contemporaries. When Ellman revised the biography for 1982, he wrote, "We're still learning to become Joyce's contemporaries." By learning to become Joyce's contemporaries, we mean coming to terms with the novel. Today, Joyce's novel continues to challenge us to meet it on its own terms. The effort remains compelling and worthwhile. For one thing, there's the sheer dazzling artistry of the novel. It consists of 18 chapters, or episodes, as Joyce preferred to call them, each of which has its own style, each of which has its own form. The form and the style come from Joyce's great source, Homer's Odyssey. Teaching Ulysses is a somewhat personal experience for me. As I began my graduate studies nearly 50 years ago, I thought I would concentrate on the Irish Renaissance, including, of course, the fiction of Joyce. Instead, I was waylaid, as it were, into classical and Neo-Latin and into the literature of the early modern period. In those areas, I've published 7 books, co-authored, co-edited, and authored. And last spring, I published a book on Milton, my most recent book. When I returned to Ulysses some 12 years ago to teach, I discovered a very different book than I had read when I was an undergraduate. It was a book that was not only exciting in a revolutionary sense, not only compelling to a young person, but it was a book I found now that was very mature. It was a book not about growing old, it was a book about growing up. And so I look forward very much to reading the great book of the 20th century about growing up with grown-ups. And so I look forward to seeing you in the course and hope very much that you will enroll in it and share with me the great experience of reading Ulysses.